Guys, welcome back to Numbers Lab. We have special guests. Usually it's Brian and I, but welcome Scott Barton, a former Oregon State golfer. He's going to help us cover some U.S. Open stuff this week. Obviously, huge week in golf. Brian's a little under the weather, so he can't join us this week. But just to recap before Scott comes on and starts talking about the course a little bit. Last week, minor losing week, minus 0.6 units. For me, and Brian lost a little bit, but he's still up 13 units for the year in golf. So also, baseball, if you're following me, I'm up 26.2 units and 9-0 in my last 9. So, but this is a golf show. And anyway, so welcome to the show. We're going to cover the U.S. Open. Obviously, Torrey Pines, you have some experience playing Junior Worlds down there. So, kind of what are we looking at for, what do we want to target as far as like some stat categories? I have some here, but like what can the players expect this week?
Well, I think when you're looking at stat categories, I think you're going to be looking at, strokes gained tee to green. This is in recent years, the USGA has definitely kind of gone away with, sort of the old traditional setup of, super tight fairways, long par fours, high rough, and they've kind of done the Chambers Bay experiments and whatnot. But I think you're going to see this golf course play, much more like a traditional US Open. I mean, I can, I can speak for myself saying that 7,700 yards at sea level with heavy air, and I was watching some of the coverage earlier today on the Golf Channel, and pinch points at fairways in between bunkers are less than 20 yards on some holes. So I think strokes gained tee to green, driving accuracy are going to be huge.
Yeah, I was looking at shots gained off tee, shots gained off approach, and then just driving distance, and then also guys who can putt good on bow green. Those are So, I want to kind of get into a few guys that I'm targeting. Matter of fact, my card's up for everybody that follows over. Everything's up on our Google Doc. I don't know what Brian's going to post as far as picks, but a couple guys I have Oosthuizen for. I mean, I got him every which way. I got him to win. I got him top 40. I got my biggest bet of the week, him top 40. I mean, his U.S. Open finishes are solo third last year, T7 2019, T16 2018, T23 2017. The guy just shows up in majors. Obviously, PGA Championship, he was in contention. So I hate laying minus 130, but I did with him. So I have him top 40, top 30, top 20, even a top 10 of plus 490. So Oosthuizen, I'm heavily invested in. So that's one guy I like. I have. Like I said, my full card's over there, but I got to win. We'll just run down real quick. I love Xander. The home, I don't know if the home turf kind of can he win at home is going to get to him or not, like Rory did at the Open a few years back, where he just, hooks it right or, hooks it left out of bounds and makes an 8 and then he's done. Xander, Morikawa, Zalatoris, and Oosthuizen. So, I know you haven't done a ton of research. What are some guys that you like for this week?
Yeah, honestly, my research, I don't know, I geek out of the Golf Channel, but as far as like looking at lines and stuff like that, I just got some guys that I like. Obviously, Patrick Reed, as much as I might disdain the guy for my own personal reasons, I mean, the guy's got a good track record around here. I think depending on the book, he's at like 25-1. The guy's just a ball hitting Jesse, and he, can be, but his short game is super solid. He's played well on the West Coast, in the past. I just think with some of the lies you're going to see on the green, especially, that guy is just got a set of hands that's pretty amazing. So he's long. Like I said, good ball striker. I like him. Zalatoris, I'm all over too. I think outright is 40-1, again, depending on the book. I don't like Rory, to be honest with you. Just kind of looking at recent major performance, first round scoring average compared to going back to 2015 or 16 is pretty high. So he kind of shoots himself out of the golf tournament, and then he's playing catch up either to make the cut. And then he, it seems like he's always like kind of part of the story on Sunday, coming from like 5 or 6 back. But
he usually likes the backdoor top 10s or something, like that's
right.
His MO.
Yeah. Another guy I've got my eye on is Tyrrell Hatton. The guy's he's a solid ball striker. He's been playing well as of late, kind of as a sleeper at 35-1 outright. And obviously, your proverbial guys in your majors. Justin Thomas, I think this is a good golf course for Justin Thomas. Recent performance, he's just been ice cold with the putter, at least in the golf that I've watched. And you can kind of see some of that frustration. He's like, gosh, like another lip out. So I think he's hitting it fine. And again, on a ball striker's golf course, I think that's he's not bad. Another sleeper I've got Justin Rose. He's kind of shown some form as of late. Hasn't had the most solid of the last couple of seasons. Fought through some injuries, but showing some form as of late. At 45-1 outright. Again, depending on the book, I like him. Talk about just a golf swing that just doesn't break down. Justin Rose. I mean, the guy hits it straight. He hits it a mile. Really like his chances around there. If he has a good week striking the golf ball.
Yeah.
Another guy, West Coast guys, man. Russell Henley played golf at USC. Another super long shot. I know that golf is a game of what have you done for me lately, but he's had some decent finishes in the last couple of months. Maybe someone to keep your eye on if you're looking just for some cheap action. Another guy that I'm on, and you're gonna call me crazy here because I'm way outside the box for him, but Lonto Griffin. Again, I've actually got a little bit of history with Lonto and played some golf with him. He's a West Coast guy originally. He ended up growing up in Virginia after his dad died, but he was born and raised in the Mount Shasta area anyway. The guy just has the U.S. Open mentality, man. I mean, he is just the ultimate grinder. Like I said, I'm probably a little bit biased because I know him personally. But I think that, I'd be curious to see what, some of those T40 lines would look like or something like that for him.
Yeah, I might actually have to look at that one. A couple of guys to kind of, I know you're short on time, and
no,
again,
that's all right.
I do like Justin Rose as well. I got him top 40 plus 110. So a lot of my plus 140s or my top 40s, top 30s, I always like to get plus money. You won't often find me personally laying juice, but
right.
And then I also took him for first round later bet plus 6,600.
Wow.
So,
good spot.
It's a great spot for that. We always talk about those first round leader bets are kind of lottery picks. They're just lottery tickets, but you're going to hit one at a time. And he's been the first round leader at Torrey. Granted, different tournament, but he's done it. Sure. Just to kind of wrap up, a couple other guys. Obviously, I've mentioned Xander. I got him top 20, top 10, and a win. He's played the U.S. Open 4 times. I think his worst finish is T6.
Yeah.
So, in the kid's player, it's just a matter of time before he wins the major. So, I think he's going to learn from the collapse at Augusta.
Right.
Scotty Scheffler, top 20. I got him top 20 plus 170. So sweet. He's, most birdies are better per round in major championship last 5 years, minimum 20 rounds. He's right there. He's third to Brooks and Tiger.
Right.
So, and then I would say going sleeper route, the one sleeper that I have is Taylor Pendrith. He's a Canadian player.
Yep.
T23 at the U.S. Open last year, got him at plus 490 on FanDuel for a top 40 finish. He was plus 163 at DraftKings. There's huge value there right now. So I think you can still get him at, I still think you can get him at like plus 400 right now for that top 40 finish.
Right.
Not going to say he's going to win the thing, but he's got the length.
Yeah.
And I think he's second to Bryson in the last 24 rounds, shots gained off tee. So, or driving distance. So
anyway, I think we've got a real quick. I mean, if you've got just a sec, I think it's worth touching on Bryson. Of course, we got the Bryson and Brooks.
Yep.
Personally, I don't think Bryson hits it straight enough. I think he's got to figure out a way to play this golf course. This is not. Was it Oakmont? No, was it? Where did they play last year? Remind me. I'm sorry, Wingfoot. Yeah. So the rough there wasn't nearly as penal, and it's a different type of rough too. I think the rough is going to be a story this week because they've literally got like 6 different types of grasses, and it's kind of clumpy. It's really inconsistent. So yeah, you're going to see guys with some good lies. But I was watching him hit balls in the range today on live from the PGA, and he sprayed it all over the place. I'm not on Bryson for anything this week. Brooks. I don't know, man. It's a U.S. Open. It's a major. He missed a cut last week, which I actually think might work in his favor, just because he's like, the guy he shows up at regular tour events and just doesn't seem like he wants to be there.
Correct.
So I don't know. There's probably not a bad go. And then Rombo. What do we think about Rom after the COVID deal last week?
I mean, I tried to find value on him. Granted, like any value to win. I mean, he's sitting at plus 900, plus 1,000.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's the betting favorite. So I mean, if he goes out and wins, there's 10 guys that if they go out and win, it's not going to surprise me. I just can't have that much exposure to everybody. So I bet him the top 10. I think at plus I don't know, plus 110 or it's on the tracker. I'll have to look, but I was like, top 10. He loves Torrey.
Yeah.
So obviously the time off, we'll see what it does. I don't think it's going to do much to a guy like that, but he's probably going to have some motivation. But I just didn't want to lay like the way that I bet outrights personally. The 900, I got to bet like a unit for him to win to get it to start. You know what I mean? So
It's not worth it. No, I hear it.
I'd rather take my exposure and put it elsewhere. But yeah, it's not going to surprise me. As far as Bryson, I have zero exposure to him, and it could be good, it could be bad. But I'm just, again, how many guys have won back-to-back U.S. Opens? The list is very small, and it's a totally different golf course. So, would it surprise me? It wouldn't surprise me. And then another Phil. We got to talk about Phil real quick. It's not going to surprise me if the guy goes out in first round leader or if he shoots an 80. You know what I mean? Like, I just
even at 50 to 1, I think outright is what I found. It's I don't know, man. Phil just scares me.
It's one of those. It'll be interesting to see how he bounces. Being the newest major champion or the latest major champion,
right?
Home track, pretty much. He's at home. Like, huge story. But I don't know. One last pick that I'll leave everybody with: Sergio Garcia to miss the cut plus 130.
Ooh.
He hasn't made a cut in a major since the 2019 Open, U.S. Open, and he's missed the last 4 or 5 cuts in majors. So I just think this course, Sergio plus money to miss the cut. I bet it at plus 130.
Just a couple of things real quick for me to keep an eye on. Then I got to run. But I think what you're gonna, for people that are really trying to handicap it, just from a golf standpoint, just because that rep is so thick, I'm a big fan of guys with a steep angle of attack into the golf ball. So Tony Finau is another one we didn't mention. Always there. That's probably to win outright. I mean, he's Tony Finau, so we don't know if he's ever going to do it. But a top 10 or a top 20, top 40. I don't know what that juice looks like. It's probably not.
Yeah, I got him at the plus, or for top 20, I got him at plus 115 earlier in the week.
Okay, nice. And then the other guy is Dustin Johnson. Again, golf is what have you done for me lately? But again, I think kind of that steeper angle of attack. Guys at Bonnet with that steep angle of attack, like a Koepka, the guys we mentioned. I just think I think that the rough is going to be the story this week, and obviously putting on Poa annua greens sounds like they're firmer than they are in February, which I can attest to. They usually are this time of year because it's not so wet. That being said, hopefully they're a little bit smoother, and we don't see Chambers Bay all over again. I don't think we will, but I mean, it's going to be a true test for U.S. Open. So anyway.
Yeah, I think the weather, it sounds like they're going to be able to do whatever they want to the golf course. They're going to be able to, have it whatever way they want. So, hey man, I appreciate you hopping on.
Thanks for having me.
I'm sure it won't be the last time. And then for everybody else, don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram and everything else. #LAB_. All of our picks are posted over there. I have a full card for the US Open. I have quite a few players over there. So, anyways, we'll have a fun weekend and we'll go watch some golf. So we'll see you guys next week.